It's interesting. You had an interesting year, obviously, because of the Hunger Games and this as well. Why do you think the films that are getting the award nominations seem to tend to be the small budget films? There are obviously exceptions, but the big blockbusters like the Hunger Games or whatnot don't seem to get as much respect.
I mean, everybody makes a movie for different reasons. Some people make movies to make people laugh or to scare them, and there's some movies that are made for entertainment, and that's probably more along the lines of what the Hunger Games falls under. But at the same time, I mean, I think that we made something that did a lot more, hopefully, than entertain people. I mean, hopefully, I stand by the message of the movie, and I've never been prouder. And you know, we loved what we were doing, but it wasn't the kind of, we weren't sending out for your consideration DVDs. We just kind of made it so that people would want to see it. And then there are certain movies that are made for this kind of thing that will never really be watched unless they go in this award circuit. I mean, they're smaller movies, you know, like Silver Linings or like Amour, Beast of a Southern Wild, and things like that.
The first time we talked, I think it was about 2009, and it was before Winter's Bone had premiered at Sundance. And I remember you saying something to the effect of that you wanted to, you were doing these sort of gritty indie movies, but you wanted to try to do everything. It hasn't been that long, but obviously you've been in a lot of movies. What haven't you done yet? I mean, do you want to do a slapstick comedy or?
I don't know. It's really, I just kind of go script by script now. There's not really, I don't really shut anything out like, oh, well, I'm not going to do a kind of movie like that. It's really just about the script. And I've been so fortunate to be able to discover so many parts of film. I remember that was what was so appealing about X-Men, because I had only done indies before. And I was just like, I want to know what a big studio film is like, and with CG and being a part of something that's that massive. And that was really, you know, interesting to me. And then went back to indies because I was like, yeah, seen it. I think I like this more.
So when Winter's Bone came out, you started becoming sort of famous. But now you're obviously with the Hunger Games. You're much more famous. I remember I asked this mentioned this because I think maybe you were in Louisville sometime around Christmas because there was I think the Courier-Journal had a story about you shopping for bedding. Is that strange to know that when you go out just Christmas shopping or what have you, that it might end up in a newspaper?
Gross. I didn't know
that. How do you feel about all that?
I think it's gross. I mean, the same thing happens when I'm in LA. I mean, yesterday I had 7 paparazzi follow me, and they were all running red lights, and I'm afraid they're going to kill somebody. And when you try to have a conversation with somebody, and then there's people just shoving their iPhones in your face and taking pictures of you like you're a zoo animal. And I think that there's something happens when a person becomes famous, where it's like all of a sudden they're expected to lose their humanity. And it does a very weird. I always knew that like paparazzi and this whole thing would be annoying, but I didn't know that it hurts your feelings. Like it just makes you feel like people don't actually consider you a person. You know, like I was going to buy groceries last weekend, and there's this new chain of paparazzi who just carry a video camera while they're taking pictures of you, and they just video you, and they start making fun of you to try to make you mad so that they can get a reaction, so that they can sell it. And I'm like what you do to monkeys in the zoo when you like bang on the glass and try to make them mad to get a reaction. It's just like, it hurts your feelings, because it's like, dude, I just want to go buy some groceries, and you're making fun of me with a camera in my face. Like, yeah, so I think it's really gross, and it makes me feel like people don't expect me to be a human anymore.
People seem to like when you're on the talk shows because you seem to have a penchant for being very candid. Why do you take that approach when you go on these shows? You seem to be willing to pretty much say anything.
I've never really, I was actually just talking to my friend about that, because I was like, I don't do it on purpose. I just have never, maybe I haven't had enough media training.
People seem to enjoy it. They seem to react to it pretty well, though.
Well, that's good. It's only a matter of time.
Do you worry about that before you go on these shows, that you're going to say something that's going to really get you in trouble with your publicist?
Oh my God, of course. I mean, while I'm talking, I'm worried about it. But I'm just like, I feel like you can't take it so seriously, like forever. Like it's just a job, and then I get the same anxiety where like I'll do a red carpet, and then at night I'm like laying in bed, and I just get that like anxiety because I'm like, oh God, did I say something? Did I offend somebody? Like, because it's like, it's like high school. Like you want people to like you. You don't want anybody. You can't, as much as you tell yourself like, I don't care if people like me. Screw it. Like I can say that about some things and make myself feel better, but you want to be liked. You don't want to, offend anyone or anything like that. So there is some pressure, but I found that like I would feel much better if I was hated just for being myself. I would be like, all right, well, I went out there and I was myself. They didn't like it, so whatever. And then if I put on some sort of masquerade or something,